Dude, this is your game. I feel like you got to intro
It's
it.
not my game, but all right. What's going on, everybody? I'm Cody. This is Brad, and we're back with a little bit of Metroid Prime.
Hi, how are you? What's up, everybody? I'm super stoked. I've also never played this game. I've heard amazing things about it throughout the years, and honestly,
Spoilers.
just out of like the 5 minutes that I've seen, I get it.
Have you ever played any Metroid game, dude? Oh, here, shit.
I played a little bit of Super Metroid.
I've played a little bit of that one too, and that one is like ahead of its time for sure.
Here's brother. These are amazing, by the way. The only way I ever played Super Metroid though was through a Game Boy emulator, because I never possessed that game physically.
Are you sure it was Super Metroid or Metroid Fusion?
Fusion. If you ever struggle at all, just hand it over to the pro. You know, no big deal. I'm actually a professional gamer. Just talk shit and I'll get good.
That is your secret, Captain.
Apparently. No, actually, just seriously, the little bit that I've seen on this game that you've shown me, I'm like, I would love to pick this up, because it's giving like such Halo vibes at some point, but like the enemy variety is cool. And man, I'm about to drop the hottest take ever, but Halo Combat Evolved, not that good a game.
Yeah, you've told me that in the past. I think
it sucks.
You think it outright sucks, huh?
I think at the time it was really good, but I definitely don't think that shit holds up at all.
Really? So you wouldn't even say it's like, oh, it's like a decent time, like you'd pick up and play it and have a good time? Like you think it's legit, like I would not touch this game again?
I will not touch that game again. It's like a 5 out of 10, dude.
I was playing Halo 2 not too long ago.
Halo 2 much better.
That game's not too bad.
Halo 2 much better than Halo 1.
Dude, I gotta say, this actually looks
phenomenal.
Pretty good for the Switch, too. Like, holy shit.
Speaking of Switch 2,
the switcheroo?
Yeah, they're gonna need to come out with the Switch 2 for Metroid Prime 4.
I know,
because there's no fucking way
is gonna be running on the fucking iPad 4.
My shit's gonna blow up.
It's literally running on a fucking Amazon Kindle.
Like, this game, like, is making me more excited to, which another game that's coming out on the horizon, but when I'm excited to get to Doom Eternal.
Dude, I know, because of what, Doom the Dark Ages? My God, I know, that game looks hella good, dude.
The ending of Doom 2016, the final boss was not that good. I thought,
yeah, no,
I thought the whole game was good, but I'm just like, you gave me this fucking, the Krusty Krab as my final boss, dude. This is actually a pretty cool intro. Dude, the pull-up games, that's like some Dragon Ball shit right there.
Samus is a fucking badass, dude. Like, legit. She's fucking sick. Okay.
How'd she get all that cake in that outfit, though?
They had to cut some of the cake off and put it on her shoulders.
Did they vacuum seal her ass? Like,
they took some of the cake off, put it on her shoulders.
The tilt function is like weird for me. Like the HUD tilt.
Yeah.
That's quite strange, man.
Now, they did touch this game up a bit from the GameCube version.
I would be curious to see a side-by-side.
I don't think it's that dramatic.
It's nice to see how gracefully some games age.
Do you think you'd be more interested in these Metroid games or in the side-scrolling ones? Like Metroid Dread?
I think I'd have an easier time getting through something like this, but my fascination is more towards Dread.
Okay.
I can't tell you the last time I actually played a Metroidvania.
You know, weirdly enough, we were talking about this before, but those Jedi games are a little Metroidvania. Hello?
That thing looks like... Oh, a little boss fight? Okay, let's go. Jesus Christ.
You have to backtrack to this area that you couldn't get to because you didn't have this ability kind of thing.
Liza P kind of has that going on like a lot, like times 10. Almost too much. But, like, just something about the side-scrolling element, like, it has been making it harder to, like, stick with the game. I think it's much easier if a Metroidvania is in a 3D space for me to get through versus, like, a 2D side-scroller. I mean, if I found a really good one, I like that Strider game.
Yeah, like, I think, like, when I was playing this last, like, I was getting lost. Like, legitimately lost and, like, where to go. And I think you're right. Like, I think it would be a little bit easier in a side-scroller to, like, be like, oh, I remember I need to go back to this room. as opposed to like a 3D space where it's just like.
I'm actually saying the opposite.
Oh, you're saying the opposite?
Well, okay, so as far as getting lost, I'll agree with you, but as far as like sticking with the game and just like toughing it out through the whole like duration of the game, I feel like it's easier for a 3D game for me. But as far as being directionally challenged, I will agree.
Like, I legit would be like running in circles when I was playing this game. So hopefully you can help me with that, and hopefully we won't be stuck for too long.
I'll do my best. I'm a little drunk right now. I've been taking shots since 6 a.m. this morning. That's not true. I'm a liar. On
Biohazardous,
Oh shit, my bad.
biohazardous materials. Bad on that.
Be like, Samus got that cake.
God damn.
It's kind of weird though, because I don't really think of Metroid when I think of Nintendo. Like, that's not like one of the first. But I guess you could say it's like a staple franchise.
No, it really is.
Like,
it's just like one of those ones that like, if it's not Mario, you don't think of it when it comes to
like
Nintendo.
Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong, like those are like.
Even then, Donkey Kong is kind of like.
Or Kirby, like.
Yeah, Kirby's another one. We actually talked about that. Where with those Kirby games, and Kirby's actually like a sleeper IP, and especially for the last, they have a new game on the horizon, right? And then with the one that you've been playing,
dude, yeah, the Forgotten Land. That one.
I've been wanting to get those.
Really fun. Not super difficult or anything, but just a fun time.
Yeah, and they're making a big deal about downloading the map, dude.
Like, fucking navigate this and be like, oh, I need to go to this area again, but like,
I feel like I'm running into a thing where it's just like I'm not sure if companies want money or not, and it feels like Nintendo definitely does, because they're actually like making like, oh dude, you're making a new Metroid Prime. Oh, you're making a new like what else have they been making recently? But I feel like they know what the audience wants.
Like, pretty much anything that you as a Nintendo fan would want, they're like, we already got you. Pretty much, right?
But with other companies, I'm just like, dude, you guys have the recipe for success. You're just not doing it.
Dude, I really feel that.
That's how I feel with Warner Brothers, especially because...
oh my god, dude. Yeah, with Suicide Squad?
Oh my god, bro. Warner Brothers is constantly dropping the ball. This is, I mean...
I feel like all of those, like, major companies are doing that. Where it's like, oh, you want to fucking, like, a Star Wars game set in this time period? Well, we're not going to do that. Or it's like, oh, you want fucking Call of Duty to do this? Well, we're not going to do that. And you're like...
It's like, okay, so you guys don't want a paycheck is what you're telling me.
For fucking real. Or they're just looking at it like, well, people are going to buy it anyway, so fuck them. We'll make...
This is where cash cow both I and you get the, like, little bit of stubbornness in each other, where it's just like, oh, okay, you're not gonna make this shit, like, I'm gonna write this shit, because like obviously you guys don't fucking know what you're doing.
Well, dude, you know, I think a lot of people our age are stubborn like that, especially with video games these days, because you got to remember, like, even online multiplayer, like when that started to blow up on consoles, it was not in the state that it is today with like DLC and all these fucking battle passes and microtransactions, dude. Like, it was just the game and that's what you played. So it's like, yeah, we kind of watched the industry just turn into this like fucking monetization shit.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like, what the fuck?
I mean, in a way, like, that same mentality is what got me started on the whole retrospective thing, where it's just like, you guys kind of wrote this like shit. Like, I could write a better story than that. Fuck. And it's just like, it's kind of like putting your money where your mouth is. I'm just like, okay, you think you can write a better story? Like, let's see it. Like, tell me the means and operations to actually get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, how about that Metroid?
Well, that's what I was going to make a point about. That is like, that's the one thing I give Nintendo credit for. Is that, like, I feel like Nintendo has been doing Nintendo since 1985. Like, pretty much. I feel like they've been themselves. Like, they just keep making more games that people want. They're not really doing all this bullshit that everyone else is doing. They've always just kind of stuck to their guns, you know? And I know people have gripes with them for this and that with, like...
I also have gripes with Nintendo, but for different reasons.
Yeah. I guess what I mean is, like... As far as like the monetization stuff, unless there's stuff that I don't know about that they're doing that's shady, for the most part, like, I'm excited for their games because they usually deliver, man. Like, they don't really miss for me.
So my actual gripe with Nintendo is I like all of their stuff, but I wish they'd step outside of their comfort zone a little bit more. okay, we've had a billion fucking Mario games. We've had a billion fucking.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, okay, give me like, you're a multi-billion-dollar company. Give me a new character.
Yeah, that's true. But it's like,
Where's the Italian?
Where's the Italian? I just feel like it's a kind of a double-edged sword because if they do start doing something different and it becomes like this fucking money-making cash cow, right? That they can monetize the shit out of, then all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, we made this new first-person shooter like this, right? And they suddenly are like, well, it's got online multiplayer and it's gonna have a battle pass, and then all of a sudden you're like, fuck, man, I kind of wish they would just keep making those Mario games now. Like, you know what I mean?
You're spinning. It's a slippery slope.
But you're also kind of spitting too, in the sense of like, you know, kind of push boundaries. You know, try to get at least a new IP.
Yeah, like the IP is my biggest hang up right now. You guys have like so many resources on a team, just as Nintendo as a whole. I'm just like, I'm pretty sure you guys can come together, congregate, and make a new character.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're capable of that. I mean, you've written 1,000 stories. Like, you can tailor one of these stories to be towards a new character. It's like, oh yeah, give me a fucking penguin. I don't care.
Yeah, just to kind of like, yeah, I get you. How do you feel about like, so as a fighting game kind of guy?
Well, now that you brought, no.
How do you view like Smash Bros?
I like it casually. It's I respect the competitive environment of the games.
Not something you would like try to get locked in on though?
Not really. I've always said this, but I'm like casual good at Smash.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, I'll beat up all my friends, but
Right.
when
You've said that before in the past too.
yeah, when it comes to like an actual bracket or something like that, I'll get smoked. Like, I'm neighborhood good, where it's just like, you know, like all your little friends would be like, oh, bro, like Johnny from down the street, like he'd whoop your ass. Like, oh no, bro, like, and just have like little kid neighborhood turf wars.
Right. But like even a game like that, they could totally do like, if you get the battle pass, we're adding this character and this character to Smash Bros roster.
They,
but
they do that.
They do?
Yeah, that's why Sora and
No, but a battle pass
well, it's not a battle pass. It's like a
Like, you have to-
season pass.
that you have to pay for?
Yeah.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought those characters were just free.
no, they're DLC characters.
So you have to buy a battle pass and unlock the character through that battle
Oh
pass?
no,
Like,
no.
That, or can you just outright buy the character
you can
that
just
they?
buy them.
Okay, that's fine.
That's my misinterpretation. It's referred to as a season pass. So
Okay.
when they drop the character, like you buy the season pass, when the character drops, you have the character.
Okay. All right, that's a little different.
I mean, that's just the formula in which fighting games do it.
Because like I've never had a problem with that in the past. Say like Jesus Christ, sorry, I'm gonna go this way. I've never had a problem with that in the past with like say older Call of Duties. Where it's like, oh, we've got the new map packs, $15 and you get 4 new multiplayer maps and a zombies map. Remember those days?
Of course, how could I forget?
It's not really like that anymore. It's
No.
like you get like a half-baked map for free. Granted, it'll be for free. But then it's like everything else that's worth a damn, it's like buy the battle pass every fucking 2 months, which is like $10, and it's like, oh, good luck getting all these items in the battle pass before they're locked permanently because the season's over or some shit, you know? And I'm just like, I don't know, like it just everything feels, when it comes to that, I guess it's better than loot boxes. But when it comes to that, it just feels like the content you're getting is very half-baked and uninspired.
The worst thing about battle passes for me is I've definitely been trying to avoid games with battle passes. I haven't played Fortnite in a while. Because I have a terrible thing with FOMO. Like, I have it bad where I'm just like, like I need to buy the battle pass because I'm playing the game because I want the things that they're promoting, but also like I'm gonna feel bad if I don't get those things or whatever.
Oh, like you're missing out.
Exactly. Well, that's
Yeah.
what FOMO is, fear of missing out.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, if I'm not playing the game, it's not a big deal. Unfortunately, Tekken has a battle pass. It's not that big a deal, but it's just like, it's all cosmetic shit. But even still, I'm just like, it wasn't until Tekken 7 that Tekken first started getting DLC, which was the PS4 generation, which is crazy because like DLC was very much a thing on the PS3 generation, but Tekken 6, Tekken Tag 2 did not have DLC. They just shipped out the game. They had all the characters
Well, you kind of were telling me too, like that era was still toying around with the idea of just like, we'll just release a completely different version of the game and not really update the current game that's out.
Which is cool in a way, because it's just a way of revisiting old versions of the game. Because, like...
Well, they would kind of like fundamentally kind of change the way the game's like flows in a way too, right? By doing that, like it'd almost be like characters would be nerfed or buffed.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be a couple new characters, but it'd also be a balance patch as well.
I think that is kind of cool, because if you don't like that, you could always just play the original version of the game. That is kind of cool.
But also going back to like, damn, this is what the character was, and now like look at this version of the character. Like,
right.
I think that's cool in a way.
Would they do like completely different move sets for those characters, or was it just more like how hard they hit?
It's possible they might have gotten a new move, but you know, they might add something like system mechanics when it comes to like, you know.
Yeah.
And then balance is a huge thing, and then like 4 new characters or something like that. That's like the difference between Street Fighter 4 versus like Super Street Fighter 4 or Ultra Street Fighter 4.
Okay, I got a good question for you.
Lay down.
Out of all those fighting games that dropped in 2023, right? Because there was a lot. What was your favorite one that dropped? We'll throw Tekken 8 in there too. Because that came out this year, right?
I have to look at it from like 2020 to 2024. Because 2020 was Guilty Gear Strive.
Okay.
Tekken 8's a lot of...
Dragon Ball's fighters out of it.
Yeah, Dragon Ball is a couple of years before even 2020. That was 2017.
No, but I'm just saying, like, if we're going to just basically say all the fighting games that you're playing.
It might have to be... Ah, man, that's... My heart is telling me Street Fighter, but my other heart is telling me Tekken.
It's funny you say that, because those are the two that I go back and forth on, too, out of all the ones that I've played. And I haven't played them that much, but I go back and forth on both those ones, too.
So I've played a lot more Street Fighter. Like, Street Fighter is pretty much like my secondary game next to Dragon Ball. But I think Tekken 8 is such a cooler package than Street Fighter. Like, the things that it has attached to the game, like the replay function, or, you know, the training mode, or, you know, just how the game plays. Tekken Ball. You know, I think...
Yeah, it's kind of a cool mode, yeah.
I think Tekken 8's a better package, but I've played way more Street Fighter 6, for sure.
You know, I just think that feature in Tekken 8 is, like, so cool. And I think other developers should take notes. In general, not just in fighting games. I think in general. I think that's a really cool feature in multiplayer.
I think that'd be a really good thing for something like, let's say you implemented something like that in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
That would be perfect for, like, search and destroy.
Agreed. Or even if you're like, hey, you could replay this match of Warzone and this part where you died and just replay that and figure out where you fucked up, and then you're like, oh, this is how he got the drop on me, kind of thing. Or like, this is what I do since he has the riot shield. Or, you know what I mean? Like, you're like, what the fuck do I do in this situation if he's got this and I've got this? Like, you just keep replaying it until you're like, okay.
A cool little thing in Tekken, and not to turn this into a fighting game thing, but
no, dude.
Cool thing in Tekken is the Super Ghost Battle, and I've told you about this before, but it has like AI versions of players, so you can play like AI of like top players,
right? But
you can also find an AI version of yourself.
Okay.
So
oh, that's cool, actually. Okay, continue.
My main in Tekken is Asuka. I played her a bit in Tekken 7. She's like a pretty vanilla character, but I wanted to start learning Kazuya on the side. And I was like, oh, okay, like, I'm going to fight my AI Asuka with my new Kazuya that I'm picking up. Is my Kazuya living up to my Asuka right now? And I can, like, see where I'm, like, stacking up against myself.
True. I was kind of thinking at it from, like, the angle of, like, what if you saved like a version of yourself or whatever from when you first started to where like 2 years later, and you're like, dude, I am fucking smoking myself right now. Like, I am that much better than I was 2 years ago. Like, that's kind of cool way of like seeing how far you've come, kind of thing, you know? Like, oh, why would I do that kind of move? Granted, it's an AI mimicking you, but like, it would just like in a roundabout way, you'd be like, oh, I fight completely different now, you know? Or like, I'm just that much better now.
But also, like, it's easy to think of yourself and not think of the mistakes that you're doing. But when you're seeing someone else do them, it's just like, oh, okay, like why did he whiff there? Like why did he do that? And it has you picking apart your own gameplay. I'm like, do I really do this?
Because you're looking at it from the other angle. So you're starting to see what your moves are, and you're like, oh, okay, that's why it's like he's able to read me so well, or, you know.
I'm gonna be real though. So I have not been playing a lot of Tekken.
It's a fucking timer. I didn't realize that.
I also did not realize that.
Fuck.
I've not been playing a lot of Tekken. So Tekken had like a big patch recently.
Yeah.
And
Fuck.
Street Fighter also had a big patch, like a balance patch.
Okay.
And I have played a little bit of Street Fighter. I have not really played much Tekken. And I think it's like a being overwhelmed thing where it's just like I feel like I have to learn the game all over again. I know that's not the case, but it's kind of what it feels like. So it's like dissuading me from like continuing to play the game. But I definitely need to lock in on some more Tekken. You got this, bro. I believe.
I'm going. Fuck. I was not paying attention to the timer. That's my bad.
You know, in fairness, like I said, damn.
And we're dead.
All right. So that was the recording. I want to thank you guys so much for watching.